I'm so excited to introduce you to our next health weight partner, Bailey Tamplen. When Bailey and I first met, her health was affecting everything. It was affecting her friendships. It was affecting her marriage. Her inflammation was so high and she felt so sluggish. It really was impacting everything. To see where she is today and that she's not only symptom free, but she gets to live life again is so exciting. An added bonus is when you get healthy from the inside out, you become confident again. You start to see things like weight work itself out. So it's so exciting to be able to introduce you to Bailey.
I grew up in a small town in South Texas, and my dad and my grandpa it's what you would call mid-scale farmers, and my mom was a teacher at the small town that we live in. And I grew up playing sports, and one of my favorite things to do as a child was to follow my dad and my grandpa around on the farm and help them. So I did that through when they retired, when I was probably like middle school age. And then I went on to college. I lived what I thought was a healthy life. In college, I felt very normal. And then I actually met my husband in college, and we graduated and immediately got married and did like all of the life things right within about 6 months. Started work, and right when we started work, about a few months into work, I started having this like pain in my left side that I couldn't figure out. We went to several doctors. I started having stomach and gastro issues along with it, digestion issues. And the doctors I was going to had ran a bunch of blood work. They finally sent me to a gastroenterologist, and that's when they did an endoscopy and found out that I had chronic inflammation and lining in my stomach. Over the years, it was getting progressively worse, and I think it was just inflammation compacting on top of each other, and I didn't really understand how inflammation drives your overall health and the symptoms that I was having, like constant upset stomach, not being able to eat, go out to dinner, go to friends' houses and just enjoy eating and fellowshipping with them without having to worry about having like upset stomach or just issues that would prolong throughout the week that would affect me at work. My husband and I love to travel, and we're very social and enjoy hanging out with friends and family. And it got to a point where anytime we were traveling, specifically like getting on a plane and flying somewhere, I would have so much anxiety that I was going to get like an upset stomach or be sick when we were on the trip that ultimately like my anxiety would just like kick it into overdrive. So I would get sick. It's sick. Like I would have an upset stomach and not feel well and just be like, all right, guys, I'm going to run to the bathroom. I'll see y'all later. Y'all enjoy y'all's thing. In August of 2021, my husband and I found out we were pregnant with an ectopic pregnancy. And we had been trying for just a few months, so we were surprised to see that we were pregnant as quickly as we were, but to hear that it was ectopic was pretty devastating. And so actually, the injection that you have to have when you have an ectopic pregnancy is basically a small dose of chemo. And that like sent my symptoms in my body like into a whirlwind. I like was constantly having stomach issues, and I just knew that there was something that wasn't right. For the past like decade, I had been asking my doctors like, hey, will I be able to get pregnant? Like, is there any impact that we're gonna have whenever we start trying to plan a family? And they told me like consistently, my OB-GYN told me this, my GI doctor told me this, my family practitioner all told me that there was nothing that gut and fertility had linked together. But whenever we had this ectopic pregnancy, I just felt like that had to be driving some of this. And so I, through a friend who has experience working with functional nutrition resources, decided to get in contact with them and just start trying to find answers through a functional nutrition way instead of more through a Western medicine way. And through them and through working with a fertility specialist that I was also working with, I found out that the inflammation that I was having in my stomach was keeping me from absorbing nutrients like B12, vitamin D, things that are really important to egg quality. And that was ultimately driving poor egg quality. So when I started the program, I was basically at such a desperation. I had a friend that had been trying to get me to do this program from my stomach issues for probably 5 years, and I was not willing to do it. But when I started the program, I was at such like a sick and desperate point that I was ready to make a change in my life. And the program is structured so well that it helps you be successful. So through the program and working with the ladies at FNR, I was able to, I won't say completely get rid of my inflammation, but I've significantly reduced the inflammation that I have. I no longer have to worry about having an upset stomach out in public, or just in general throughout my day. Like, we've traveled and gone on several trips since I've started doing this, and I've had no issues. I've really been able to just take back my life and not have fear of what I'm going to put in my body and whether or not I'm going to be able to enjoy my day from it. My favorite health hack to share with all of you is to change your protein sources to pastured, grass-fed, grass-finished meats and eggs, and to try to eat as much organic produce as possible. My favorite part of working with functional nutrition resources is that they truly gave me a quality of life back. I'm absorbing nutrients again, and I have energy. These ladies are amazing. They're very supportive, and they just have a program that actually helps you have success. I've done Whole30 and Paleo and a bunch of other programs on my own, and I just didn't have the tools that I needed to be able to eliminate and heal my gut and then reintroduce foods to find what was really triggering and driving my inflammation, until I worked with functional nutrition resources, and then they were able to just help me completely drive that home. What it means for me to be health awake is to just be aware of my body and understand that the food that I put in is driving my overall health.